y'all, and welcome to today's video. I'm so happy I have the new Unearthly Cosmetics Don't Be Jelly palette. We have duochromes, we have multichromes, we have mattes. We are going to do some swatches. We are going to do some eye looks. We're going to test out this palette. It's going to be a good time. Let's jump into it. Starting off, here is Don't Be Jelly from Unearthly Cosmetics. I'm loving the palette front with the blue kind of holographic letters with the jellyfish in the background, and then opening it up. Beautiful color story. Unearthly Cosmetics is a favorite brand for me. Their formulas, their color story, their packaging, they just don't miss for me. So I'm so looking forward to getting this palette on the eyes. Now, Unearthly did send me this palette. If they had not sent this to me, I would have purchased this myself. If you've been watching my videos, you know I just bought a bunch of palettes for them. I love, I'm so into this. I've been waiting on this palette ever since I saw sneak peeks and photos. I love a good multichrome. I love a good duochrome. Mattes, the color story of this palette is speaking to me, so I'm really looking forward to playing with this. Let me pop up a close-up of the palette and swatches for you so that you can see how this palette swatches out. Now, I just swatch with my finger onto my arm, and of course the true test of a shadow is going to be how it applies on the eyes. But I do my best to show you different lightings on my camera, on my iPhone, inside, outside, as best I can so that you can really see the shifts of the multichromes, see the shades in this palette, and I even try to kind of get some of the shots in focus, out of focus, so that you can really see the sparkle and shift as much as possible. So I really hope that you enjoy the swatches, but I am really intrigued by this color story. I have already created so many looks in my mind, and I'm just looking forward to playing with this one. I think we have some really poppy, intense colors, but I also think that this palette will be able to create some more subtle looks as well. So we're gonna play around with this. I really like the layout. I really like the mirror in here. Again, I like this packaging. I just think overall, this is very aesthetically pleasing. So pretty. But like I said, the true test of a shadow for me is how it applies on the eyes. So I want to see, is this palette the same unearthly quality that I expect from the brand? We're gonna see, we're gonna play with it. I'm going to put down a little bit of eyeshadow primer. I always use an eyeshadow base no matter the brand. So I'm gonna prime my eyes with my Sigma Ignite eyeshadow base. I'm gonna zoom y'all in nice and close, and we are going to play with these shadows and have a good time. Okay, I have my eye primer on, but something that I forgot to say earlier is that these pans are magnetic. So if you're somebody who likes to mix and match your palettes, create custom palettes, things like that, you can easily remove these shades with a magnet. I did it when I got the palette to double check, and the shade names are printed on the back of the pan, so you don't have to worry about labeling them or forgetting what shade is which. Just throwing that out there. I don't usually rearrange my palettes, but I like to point that out for those of y'all who do like to customize your palettes. Starting off, I really want to do a two-toned crease where I'm doing kind of two shades in the crease. That's self-explanatory. I didn't need to explain that, but two matte shades is what we're going to start with. So C Star right here, I want to go in with this one, and then I also want to play with Lagoon. So I'm going to start first with C Star, and we'll put that kind of in the front of our crease, and then we'll go in with that blue next. Okay, so I'm going to look down, making sure I don't have any creases in my primer, and we're going to go in with this purpley color called C Star. So what I'm going to do first is kind of pack the color on, just pressing my brush right there. I just want to get that right in here. And then once I have it down like this, then I'll kind of not pick up any more product and just work on blending this shade in. Okay, now I have that blue shade called Lagoon, Blue Lagoon, and I've got that picked up on a Singe Beauty brush, and this is going to be the second shade in our crease. So I'm going to bring it all the way up here to my socket, so right here, this part of the crease, and then blend it out. But first, just like with the purple, I'm kind of pressing it, and then I'll work on blending it, not trying to overblend, wanting to keep the pigment there. So I'm just gonna kind of take my time back and forth and making sure right in here where the blue and the purple kind of meet, I want to make sure that that's a nice blend as well. I want it to go from purple to blue. I don't want to like mix them or anything, but I just want right in here, this area, I want to have a nice little blend there. So I'm just going to do it like this. Just take a little time blending. Okay, I feel amazing. I feel amazing in purple and blue. Surprise, surprise. I'm ready to add in another shade though, and I want to add in this beauty right here, Seafoam. Gotta do it, gotta do it. So I'm gonna pick it up on this brush from my Sigma set, tap a little excess off, and then just lightly using this to kind of diffuse the edges of the blue so that I kind of have this like purple blue. Is that a touch of green? Why, yes. Yes, it is. Seafoam, actually. So I'm just going to lightly kind of blend because I don't want it to be like green in the outer part of this blend. I just want it to be like, oh yeah, it's a little bit of seafoam, y'all. Subtle, subtle, you know? So let's blend just a little bit back and forth. I'm barely touching my skin with the bristles of this brush. Nothing intense, nothing harsh, just softly, softly. Okay, I am going to go all over the lid with this multi-chrome right here, Luminescence. This one has so many different like shifts to it. It's so hard to even capture on camera. The mirror shows like a little bit, but it's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna put down a little bit of a tacky base, but I want this shade to have like its moment. So I'm gonna put it from like here on the lid out to where this blue mat is. I want this multi-chrome to multi-chrome all across my lid. Okay, so I'm going to tap this shade on first, and then I'm gonna go back and blend in a minute. But this is like a pink, purple, blue, gold, shifty, multi-chrome situation. It looks so pretty. Oh my gosh. Did I say I'm using an Unearthly brush? And it's kind of like a small but very like fluffy brush. It's not super dense. So it's really gonna like knock that like sparkle around, which is what I want, so that you can really, really see. Okay, you can see so much, I think, in the mirror. Oh, that's so cool. I mean, I know you could see in the swatches, but I think the mirror can be fun too. Okay, I'm so loving this. So, like, color just makes me So I want to put some more sparkle on though. I want to go on the lower lash line with this shade. This is like a purple to blue shift that has like maybe some little pink in there. This sea space shade. I want to pick this up on a brush, and I really want to kind of pack it on the lower lash line. So I'm going to pick it up on my brush. After I have the shadow on my brush, I'm going to spray my brush with a little setting spray, makeup mist, whatever you want to have, it's fine. And then after I kind of pack it on, I'm going to blend it a little bit. Okay, so I've got it on my Unearthly brush, and I'm going to kind of press first to get most of the shade down. And then once I kind of have it pressed and my brush doesn't really have any additional shadow, then I'm going to go and I'm just going to buff it back and forth to blend it a little bit. But I think this blue and this sparkle is going to be really pretty, especially since it's kind of a blue purpley pink shade with what we have going on the lid. I think it's going to work. Okay, let's kind of finish this look off with some sparkle on the inner corner. Now, I think this really light green seafoam would make a beautiful matte inner corner highlight. I'm pulling my own hair. There we go. I, though, want to use this beautiful shade right here called Salty. So, Salty is another shifty shade, really pretty. And it's like this baby blue type of color with like this lavender to white type of shift to it. So I'm just going to put it right there. Really pretty. And then like this is our finished look right here. But I want to go in with eyeliner and a lash. I'm just going to do a black liquid liner. I have one I bought from Unearthly, so I'll use that, and then I'll put on a lash, and I will be right back. Alright, y'all, here is our finished look. I'm super into it. I feel very jellyfish inspired. Queen of the jellyfish, maybe. I just really like this. I think it's fun. I love these shades together. The multi-chrome is shifting, sparkling. I'm into it. I had a great time. Everything blended well. Everything's pigmented. No issues. Of course, I'm going to create more looks for y'all, but this one, I'm loving. I did put on some Milk Time eyeliner in the lower waterline, just a little blue to kind of complement what we have going on down there. The Unearthly liquid liner up top with Unearthly Mystic lashes. I am still testing out and trying this MAC Sunstruck matte bronzer, so that's the bronzer that I'm wearing. And then I pulled some other Unearthly things for the rest of my makeup. The blush in the shade Pop. I'm wearing the low light highlighter single. This is the shade Spectre. So that's what I have on my cheeks, this beautiful shade. I have a video swatching all their multi-chrome highlighters too, if you want to check those out, because I had to buy them all. So for lips, I have on a combination of Flirt Satin Liquid Lipstick and Avery Lip Gloss. So this is the first and finished look. I'm feeling it, but we will move on to the others. Hello, welcome back. We are going to do two different eye looks today. I'm going to prime my eye for shadow, and we're going to start with this really pretty, more corally matte called Coral. And then we're also going to use this matte up here, the deepest matte in the palette called Sea Urchin. Alright, so I'm going to take the shade Coral on this large fluffy brush. This is another brush from my favorites set with Sigma. And I'm going to put this kind of all right here in the socket. I'm pressing it on first, and then I'm going to take this up high as well. So you can see like my socket goes like this, my crease, whatever you want to call it. I just have multiple creases in my eyes because of my eye shape. So I try to say the socket, and you can see I'm going to take this up much higher because I want to kind of like open my eye up a little bit with this shade before we go in with the deeper shades. And I want you to really be able to see this shade as well. So I'm almost going to come like straight out here and then blend it down and around, just to not close out my eye, but to open it up. Okay, I'm going to take this dual-ended brush from one of my Sigma palettes, and I'm going to go into the shade Sea Urchin, and we're going to put that in the outer corner of the eye, and then we're also going to put it on the inner corner right in here we're going to do like a halo eye, a spotlight eye, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but I'm going to just kind of deepen up in here and here, leaving the middle blank though, because we're going to go in with a shimmer shade there. And I'm also going to take these two shades to the lower lash line. So I'm going to put this deep dark shade on the lower lash line and then buff it out with the coral. Okay, so I'm going to flip my brush over. Now that I have those two mattes kind of blended in, we left the center blank. So we're going to put a shadow there. I'm going to go with this smaller side of the brush. And I'm going to go in with this really pretty shade right here called Jellyfish. I'm going to pick that up on my brush, and then I'm going to spray my brush with a little setting spray, makeup mist. Whatever you like to use is completely fine. And I just want to put that shade right in the center of my lid. Okay, so I'm going to take this shade. This is like a purple with a little bit of pink, kind of. Almost like a, maybe like a purple pinky gold type of duochrome. But I really like the sparkle in here. That's really, really beautiful. I'm gonna put it right there in the center, bringing it up here even, because I really want you to be able to see all the sparkle and stuff in the center. So I'm just going to press and then blending once I have it kind of pressed down and most of the shadow off of my brush. Okay, for the inner corner, I'm going to grab this Unearthly brush, and I want to use the shade Brine. I think this is going to be a really pretty kind of green, shimmery inner corner. I also think you could just kind of leave the inner corner blank if you wanted to, but I want to add just a little more sparkle. I'm really liking how the look is coming together, but I think this pop of green is going to be very soft because I'm not going to wet my brush. I'm using this kind of angled brush, and I just want to kind of fluff it so that it's a little more soft rather than impactful. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that right on the inner corner, trying to be very light-handed with it because I just want a little touch of green, not like wham in your face, look at that green shade. And this is kind of like, it's definitely a green shimmer. It's almost got these like little like green gold reflex to it. Very pretty. And I think this is where we're gonna leave this eye look. I mean, I am gonna do liner. I think I'll skip false lashes and just do mascara, but we only used 4 shades for this look. So I wanted to do something with few shades that was still really impactful, really pretty, and I think we achieved that with this eye. I like the coral and the deep shade and the purpley and the green together. I think it's very fun. I'm into it. But let me put down primer over here, and I want to go in, I think, first with this green matte because I just want to play with this more. And then I want to play with this beautiful multi-chrome up here. And we're going to start, though, with this Seafoam shade. So let me put down my eye primer, and then we'll go in with our shadow. Okay, so I've got the shade Seafoam, and I picked it up on my blinged brush. And I'm going to put this all in the crease, kind of the way we did with the coral shade to start off, but I'm really going to take this out here, kind of up and around, just really pressing this shade on, getting all that pigment down, getting my eyeshadow primer like set down with this green shadow, and then I'm just going to slowly kind of blend. And once again, I'm going to take the shadow up higher than my socket or my crease to open up my eye. Okay, I want to go in with blue on the lower lash line. I want to use this shade right here called Lagoon. This is an Unearthly Cosmetics brush, and I'm just going to put this right down here on the lower lash line. I'm going to put that close to the lashes, and then I will blend once I get it laid down. Okay, now I'm going to deepen up the outer corner, and I'm going to use a Sea Urchin for that, the same shade that we kind of used out here. But I want to layer this on top of the green, so I'm just going to press it right there, not having any weirdness, not having any patchiness or anything like that, layering these two mattes together, which is always what you want. So this is another blinged brush, and I'm just going to slowly kind of buff and blend this in, but I want to keep this depth just in the outer corner and kind of low. I don't want to bring it up super high, so I'm just going to take my time blending. Okay, I want to go for the multi-chrome in this palette, well, the other multi-chrome. In the first look, we used Luminescence. So now I want to go in with this beautiful shade called Hydro Space. This has a very strong shiftiness to it. So I'm going to put down a little bit of a sticky base, and I am going to put this from here all the way out to this matte shade. I want to really give this a lot of space so that like it's just the star of this look. And yeah, I'll put down that base, and then we'll kind of press in this multi-chrome. Okay, so I've got Hydro Space, and I'm going to press that onto the lid. So this is like a green, blue, purple, gold type of color. Very like ethereal, almost angelic. I don't know, just so pretty. The shift is so strong. So I'm just pressing the shade on, and then I'll kind of buff and blend back and forth like this. Oh, so pretty. Okay, let me kind of show you some of the shift. Maybe you can see in the mirror like this. Not sure if you can see, but really beautiful. Okay, for the inner corner, I want to grab this shade right here, Aquatic, this really pretty duochrome, and we're going to brush this on the inner corner. So this is like a purple blue type of duochrome, going to be really beautiful on the inner corner, very sparkly. And again, for this look, what did we use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just 5 shades here. I am going to blend a bit. I'm going to put on eyeliner, and we're going to skip falsies and just do mascara. But here's look 2, and here is look 3. I'll do my mascara, and then I'll come back and we'll chat more about this palette. All right, y'all, here are the finished looks. Look 2, look 3. I will tell you what is on the rest of my face, and then we'll kind of talk about this palette. I just put on some of my Milk Black eyeliner in the lower waterline, and I threw on some mascara. I am wearing my MAC bronzer again. I'm wearing the Unearthly Single Blush in the shade Bloom. I'm wearing the highlighter Low Light Single in Mirage, a little multi-chrome highlighter moment today. And then for lips, I'm wearing the Satin Liquid Lipsticks in the shade Mandy and Gloria. And then for gloss, I topped it with the shade Ornament. So that's my lip today. I really enjoy this palette. I'm so excited to keep playing with it, creating some more looks, using it. I love the packaging. Very, very me type of packaging. I like the jellyfish. I like all of this. I like this layout. I really like that the pans are magnetic. It's just a nice touch. Even though I don't usually rearrange my palettes, I like the option. It's the attention to detail. We have a nice mirror in here, and we have two really strong multi-chromes. These two right here, Hydro Space and Luminescence, very strong, very beautiful shifts. I really like the layout of this palette. If you are looking at this palette, you don't know what to do. One, I did 3 looks, so you can definitely reference these tutorials. I'm sure so many other creators are gonna make amazing, gorgeous looks too. But I think if you break this palette down into quads, kind of just cover up and say just that kind of quad right here, make a look. This quad right here in the center, make a look. This quad on the end, make a look. Easy. The work is done for you with this layout, and I like that a lot. All of the mattes were pigmented. They were easy to blend. They did not take a lot of layering. They did not take building up to get the pigment. The pigment went on. It blended very easily. The shadows layered well. I like to use shadows in lots of different ways, working lightest to deepest, deepest to lightest. So the shadows worked beautifully in every look. They worked without the sticky base, they worked with the sticky base, like very beautiful. So I'm super into these looks. I really like both of these. I'm impressed. I'm excited to see like what's to come from Unearthly, but very happy with this. Like really like this color story. This I can see being a favorite for me. Like just very pretty, different, fun. Okay, I hope whatever you're doing, you're having an amazing day. I will link this palette down below, and I will put my affiliate code Heather down in the description box if you want to save. I do have that code with Unearthly. I am pumped about this palette. I hope you're having a good day. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and I will see y'all very soon in another video. Bye!